ICT and its influence in bringing many elements of marketization into the philosophies and functioning of government, there has been much more significant coming together of the private and the public sector. We should look at some timelines. When did this coming together really start? What is this marketization? 1970s, again I go back to 70s, was the time the developed nations organized themselves into a group of 77 and to promote the new international economic order. 1970s. 1980s, there was a debt crisis, and this enabled the international financial institutions to suggest, or some might even say to force, changes upon the less developed nations into adopting major structural adjustment programs. 1990s was particularly significant. There was the Earth Summit, or the Rio Summit, in 1992. 1990s also was the time when the developed countries decided to work very closely with the NGOs. The FSC, the Forest Stewardship Council, formed in 1993, was a multi-stakeholder certification initiative of forestry owners, companies, NGOs, local communities, etc. The United Nations too changed its attitude towards transnational corporations in the 1990s. This was also the period when the US, when Ted Turner's contribution of $1 billion was accepted by the United Nations. So you see a private sector becoming very closely associated with the government international bodies. And that was also the year, late 1990s, when World Bank established Business Partners for Development program. This was designed to assist the bank in its task of advising governments, particularly with respect to social consequences of privatization. In 1996 saw the publication of the MDG, the Millennium Development Goal. So we see that as we look at this timeline starting from 70s to now via the 80s and 90s, we notice that development, government, private sector, NGOs, they've all had started coming together on various platforms of development. In one of our earlier sessions on strategizing or conceptualizing e-governance initiative, we talked about development. We have to acknowledge once again that investigating how partnerships might contribute to development is not easy, because there's no one undisputed notion of development. Each actor, the government, the private sector, the NGO,